Hi class, it's Professor Lekkerkerk. Hi. I thought I'd take a couple minutes to go through our week 3 assignment together and show you a couple things that I noticed and might help you with your assignment. So let me share my screen. Okay, so here we are at the week 3 assignment. First things first, please watch the overview video. I think it's quite helpful in understanding what you need to do. Next, there's a lot to do before you actually start this assignment. Please make sure you do all of the prior to information, specifically about how to use the library, because you're going to be using the library to find 2 scholarly journal articles and 1 ebook this week. So definitely watch the Keywords Are Critical and the ebook central overview video. These are going to be very helpful. Next thing, please make sure that you check out the example linked to in the assignment instructions. They're located here. Oops, wrong one. By clicking on the example, it should download a PDF for you to look at. And the PDF is very helpful in that it shows you exactly what I'm looking for your paper with some great examples in it. So make sure you check out that. For example, when you look down, you should make sure that you have your research question on the top, that you cite and APA format your first journal article, and then you provide a 2-paragraph annotation. And I just want to point out how long your annotation should be. This one is a solid paragraph, and this one is another very long, solid paragraph. So make sure you're trying to reach that word count and that your annotated bib looks just like this one. So check out that sample, please. All right, so after you've done all the prior to information, you've watched the videos, you've reviewed the template, and you've looked at the example, please make sure that you download the template. The template's a Word document that you're actually using to help you create your assignment. So when it opens up, you want to click on the Enable Editing if it pops up. And then you're going to type in your information where it's at. So what's the title of your assignment? What's your name? What's my name? What's the date and the year? And then you remove the assignment instructions and you type in your response. So here where it says, replace these instructions with your research question, you just highlight it, delete it, and then type in your research question. So, you know, this is where you put that finalized research question that you picked in week 1 for that assignment. If I gave you any feedback, here's the place where you would fix it or change it or update your research question. And then following the template, here's where you would put your reference citation, make sure it's an APA, and here's where you would put in your 2-paragraph annotation, all right? So keep that in mind when you use the template. All right, so after you've done all that, you also need to go find 2 scholarly articles and 1 ebook in the library. And if you don't know how to get to the library, it's actually fairly simple. You click on the Writing Center and Library link in the left nav, and it should open up this page. Go ahead and click on the Library tab, and it should open up, give it a second, the library website. And the library website is very easy to use if you know how to use it and you've watched those videos in the assignment. Here's where you would actually look for your journal articles and your ebook. I also want to point out that here where it says 24/7 library tutoring is what you'd click on to do your chat with the librarian, which is also a part of this assignment. So to chat, you just click on this yellow button. It should open up a little page like this. Go ahead and click on the Live Tutoring Free. Give it a moment. And then click on Find Library Tutors. And here's where you're going to describe your library problem. Like I would probably type in here like, I need help finding an ebook on my topic, or I need help finding 2 scholarly journal articles for my topic. Dear librarian, I need help thinking about keywords to search for my research question. So that's what you would type in here, and then you click submit, and that will launch you into your tutoring platform. So make sure you do that because it's part of your assignment this week. You have to chat with a library tutor. All right, back to the library. So that was chat. To find a scholarly journal article for your topic, the easiest way that I recommend doing it is clicking on the advanced search button right under here. That should open up a new tab. And here's where you type in the keywords related to your topic. So if my research question was, what causes obesity? My keywords would be causes and obesity. So these are the words I would put into the search engine. So I'm going to put obesity, and then I'm going to put cause or cause and effect. That's fine with me. And please note that the library tries to help you out by giving you suggestions, but try to match your keywords with what you actually wrote for your research question. Next, you want to scroll down a little bit and you want to make sure that the full text is checked off. And you also want to make sure that you check off limit to scholarly peer-reviewed. For this assignment, you need scholarly articles, so you have to check off that box, okay? Next, you want to make sure that you're finding recent articles. You don't want an article that's older than 10 years, so I would probably put 2009 here to make sure I get things that are from 2009 until today. So once you've checked off full text, checked off peer-reviewed, and typed in 2009, and you have your keywords up here, go ahead and hit search. Give it a moment to think about itself. Sometimes the library takes a moment, so try to always make sure that you've got a strong internet connection and that you're somewhere that you can save your work. All right, so it looks like I've got a lot of articles to skim through. So I'm probably going to skim through the topics of the titles to see if anything piques my interest. So yeah, this one looks pretty good. So this one is obesity as a disease, effects of weight bias, attitudes, and beliefs. Let's say I would like to use this article and I want to learn a little bit more about it. All you have to make sure it says journal article or academic journal. That's a good sign. Go ahead and click on the title of the article. What this does is it's going to get you more information about this. Oh, it jumped straight in there. So let's go back. Let me show you some things. If you click on detailed report, if it automatically launched the PDF, if you click on the detailed report, you're going to see this abstract that pops up. And the abstract is a beautiful summary of what the article is about and the overall picture of it. I strongly suggest reading the abstract because it gives you a good idea of what the article is about. Is it related to your research question? And it's a good summary. So read that. I also want to call your attention to the buttons here on the right. Specifically, I'd like to call your attention to the Cite button. By clicking on the Cite button, I'll show you what it does, and you scroll down to APA, you can copy this for your reference citation. It's not going to be 100% correct, but it will be a great start for your APA citation. So go ahead and copy that. And then here in the template you need to use for the assignment, you would just paste in that APA citation. As you can see, it's not formatted 100% correct. So what you still need to do is you got to change the font to Times New Roman and 12. You want to make sure it's double spaced, and the easiest way to make sure something's double spaced is to highlight it, and then using your keyboard, type in Control-2, and Control-2 will make sure that it's double spaced. The other thing you can do is right-click, go to Paragraph, and then make sure the line spacing says double. That's how you do that. Do not just hit Enter until things look right. That isn't the correct way to do this. All right, the last thing you need to do is for reference citations, you need to use what is called a hanging indent. And that's where the first line is long, but the last two lines are scooched in an indent. So there's two ways to do that. The easiest way to do it is to use the keyboard shortcut Control-T. Control-T keeps this one long and scooches the last two lines in. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is right-click, highlight, right-click, and go to the paragraph. And here where it says special, you want to change it to hanging. And it does the same thing as Control-T. All right? And the last thing you need to do for your APA citation is get rid of this blue hyperlinking. It should not be there. The easiest way to do that is to right-click and just select Remove Hyperlink. And there you have it, a relatively beautifully done APA citation. Okay? So that's a cool trick with the library that I wanted to show you. All right, so please use the library to find 2 scholarly journal articles within the last 10 years and 1 ebook. Finding ebooks is a little trickier. What I typically do is I go to the ebook section right under the Find It button. So I click on ebooks. And then I usually click on eBook Central. This is the biggest database for finding ebooks. And here, you just type in your topic. So here again, I would type in obesity and causes, and then see what eBook Central has. Perfect. And then here on the left, you can select the year published. So if you wanted something super recent, I would probably check off the last 5 years on the left. So I'd probably check out 2009 all the way to 2014. And then do the same thing you did before. You can download the ebook here, full download. You can read it online. There's also a table of contents, but again, you can click on the chapter of the ebook and you get a little bit more detail. So even here within eBook Central, you can see that there's a cite button. It's called Cite Book. You just have to select APA, and it gives you, again, a good format for your APA citation. So please use the tools embedded into the library to help you with APA and find your 2 scholarly journal articles and your 1 ebook. All right? So back to the assignment. If I can get back to the assignment. Okay, let's go back to our course. And you go back to the week 3 assignment. So by now you should have downloaded the template, looked at the example, and done all of the reading and prior to stuff. Now you need to make sure that you know what to do for your annotations. So here in the template, you'd put your reference, your APA reference citation. And now you're gonna write your annotation. And your annotation has 2 parts, 2 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, you need to summarize the text. So summarize that article you read. And in your summary, you need to do these 4 things. What kind of source is it? Here's where you're going to tell me, is it an article? Is it an ebook? Is it a scholarly article? Next, you need to tell me what the main claim or thesis is of the source. Like, what is it about? If you could tell me in 1 sentence, like the main point of the article, that's the thesis. And then after that, you need to tell me the evidence or the other claims brought up in the article. So let's say I read an obesity article that was basically saying like fast food makes people fat. Let's say that's the main claim. I would then need to explain what evidence was given in that article to prove that fast food makes people fat or obese. So then I'd talk about, oh, studies were done, they did a research study, they did a case study, they asked people who were obese about their habits. So here's where you explain. And each, like this one here should be about a sentence. The main thesis or claim should be 1 to 2 sentences. You need to spend between 4 to 6 sentences talking about the evidence and what else the article talks about, okay? That's what you do in paragraph 1. In your second paragraph of your annotation, you need to talk to me about how adequately does the source support its thesis. And what I'm looking for here is basically you talking to me about the credibility of the source. Are the case studies done well? Who did they talk to? What did they find out? When was this done? How current the information is. This is important because things change over time. And fast food industry, since the release of documentaries, have actually gotten healthier. And so if we're still talking about obesity, knowing that this article was written last year versus 10 years ago makes a big difference. Next, you need to talk about the credibility and if the authors have authority. So are the authors who wrote the article, are they knowledgeable about their topic? Have they written other things? You might need to Google the author, okay? Also, you can find out who the author is when you look back at the article, so let me show you. Sometimes even at the tops of articles, it tells you, yeah, so here we know that Leslie and the authors listed here on the top, they come from different universities. Like this one's from the University of Florida, Kent, Cleveland. So we know that these are professors. So that kind of gives you an idea of who the authors are and if they're knowledgeable about their topic. And if you can't find anything, you might have to Google the authors. Okay, so after you talk about credibility of the source, I need you to talk about the limitations of the source. And here's where you talk about things like bias. An article can't talk about everything regarding the topic, and they might miss some things. For example, if we're talking about obesity and fast food, and they're basically saying that fast food contributes to obesity, they're not talking about things that might also affect obesity, like income, how much people make. Is it cheaper to eat fast food than it is to buy organic? Or are they missing things like the authors are all super healthy people and hate fast food, and so that would make them biased against the fast food industry. So talk about the limitations. And sometimes the limitations just as the source is old, okay? And then lastly, you need to talk to me about how this source is related to your research question. Does it answer your research question? Did it not answer your research question? How did it answer your research question? So those are the 2 paragraphs you need to talk about in your annotation. So what I like to do is I like to copy those questions into my prompt and then write a few sentences for each question and then delete the prompt. So I just have my paragraphs remaining. Okay, so you need to find 1 scholarly article, a 2nd scholarly article, and 1 ebook for this assignment. The last thing you need to do is you need to copy and paste your tutoring summary. So when you go visit the library tutoring, you need to show proof of that. So here you can either copy and paste your chat that you had, take a screenshot of you having that chat and pasting it in here. Either way, I just need proof that you chatted with the librarian about something related to this course, okay? And that's what you're doing for week 3. I hope this helped, and if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. You can do it. Students miss the most points on their annotations. They miss one of these points right here. They forget to do one of them. So just make sure you're addressing each one of these questions, okay? Good luck, happy researching, and please reach out if you have any questions. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.